It is the first Tuesday of the month, which as always means a new rotation of free assets available on the Epic Marketplace store. This time around we are getting the Stylized Modular Crystal Mine, a kit that provides all the props you need to create a complete mine from scratch with rocks, ore, crystals and tunnels. Also features some blueprints like wagons following spline-controlled rails and so on. Replicated Building System. A replicated system for placements of items with functionality like picking up, setting down, rotating, snapping items to surfaces and such. Advanced CRT TV VHS Effects. This pack can be used as material and post-process effects if you're looking for the effect of old screens, surveillance cameras or similar visual artifacting. Fantasy Interior Environment. An interior medieval setting pack containing 182 meshes like furniture, decorations and miscellaneous items. Stats and Achievements Integration. A Steam API stat and achievements integration that will allow you to implement Steam stats and achievements using blueprints into your game. The plugin allows you to upload, download and display user stats and achievements from the Steam servers. So let's check these out. So first off we have the Crystallized Modular Crystal Mine. So this is an asset pack that is containing essentially everything that you see here. There's really not much more to it. It consists of a few things, like we have a little cart here running along a rail track, which is designated by a spine for its curvature. We have some crystals. We have some foliage actors in the form of these crystals. We have a few particle effects running around. We have a chain which also works similarly to the railroad, which also is a blueprint that follows a spline. And yeah, that's essentially everything that's used to create this little scene that we have here. So if we take a look at the overview scene, this is what we have. So some crystals, some rocks, some railroads, some chains, some more crystals, and some particle effects, and then some tunnel and mountain related objects as well. So, and also a waterfall. So that's essentially what you get inside of the Stylized Modular Crystal Pack. Next up we have the Replicated Building System, and this is actually a little bit of a cool system because there are a lot of games when this type of functionality is present. Usually in games like, I don't know, maybe games where you build bases and then you decorate inside of the rooms and such with like different types of furniture and maybe things on the walls and stuff like that. And this is essentially what that system does, or this system does. So here we have some controls over here to the right. We can see that we can interact and rotate, we can reset positions, all positions, we can end, interact and zoom in and out. So this is essentially what we're doing. We're picking up an object, we can zoom in and out, we can rotate it around with E and Q. We can reset the rotation, which means it goes back to where it was when we picked it up. And we can also press X to put it back in its old position, so where we picked it up essentially. So this is what we can do. And if I pick it up, you can see that it's red when I hold it up in the air, but I place it along the ground and we get green, which means I can actually place it. Similarly, they have something here which is sort of snapping slots. So you can have something like these cones, you can pick them up and you can bring them over here, and you can see that we can place them on the ground just perfectly like that, but we can also bring them up to these slots, and if our center part of our screen is somewhere near one of these slots, then it will suggest one of these slots to put it into, like so. So we can end them up like so. In addition to that, we also have this, which is essentially like a painting, something that you can place and it snaps along edges of like walls, or not edges of walls, but walls instead of just ground surfaces. So we can put it on the ground, we can put it on the wall, we can pick it up, we can rotate it, we can place it wherever we want, right? So it's not a whole lot of functionality, but it is enough to do something like decorating rooms and stuff like that. And if you watch the demo clip for this asset pack, that's actually what they're doing. They're having two characters running around decorating a house with a bunch of different furniture. And since this is replicated, that means it works for multiplayer, of course, as well. Next up, we have the advanced CRT TV VHS Effects pack. That is a little bit of a mouthful. Essentially what we have here is a material that you can use to tweak to get a bunch of different effects. So here we have a bunch of CRT monitors from the old days and some different old games that they're sort of trying to emulate the effect of seeing, right? So we have Art of Fighting over here, we have Prince of Persia 2, and you get these artifactings that makes it really look authentic. Over here we have Heroes of Might and Magic. That's what that looks like. Over here we have MS-DOS. So that's what that looks like. We have a Commodore 64 screen over here. And we have another Commodore 64 screen here. So yeah, you can see that there are a bunch of different artifacting that really sells the effect from how it actually looked back in the days. We also have some TV distortions over here as well. So what is this pack? Well, in essence, it is a material. If we go into materials, here we can go and see that we have this animated material, and we can see that, okay, that doesn't look that complex, and yeah, you would be wrong. This is the material. So it has, as you might expect from this, a lot of capabilities, and the best way to show this off is probably by going to our here I created a material instance, so this shows us the different parameters that are exposed. So you can see here that we have a bunch of parameters, and I believe it is close to 50 different parameters that you can tweak here. And just enabling them and spinning them around, you can see that you can get a lot of different effects from playing around with them. You can probably create any kind of effects that you would like to have that is from this type of era of effect, the old screens and maybe surveillance cameras and things like that, right? So there's a lot of functionality here, and it's a little bit more than meets the eye when you first see that, okay, it's a CRT VHS material. We've seen that a lot, but this one does give you a lot of flexibility to adjust it to just give the feel that you are looking for. Next up, we have the Fantasy Interior Environment Pack. So this, as you can see, is a medieval setting kind of interior pack, and it looks very compact and cluttered and like really dense, right? Something to note is that this is essentially everything that you get. There is nothing beyond this. This is a very small scene. We would not be able to see if we go outside here. There's nothing here. There's not even an upstairs. There's nothing at all. This is the room, although it has a lot of stuff in it. It consists of 182 different objects. And if we were to look at the scene itself looks nice and fine. But the pack itself is a little bit on the small side because the amount of meshes that you use here, or that it consists of, many of them are samey. Like you can see here, there's like plate stuff, slightly different sizes and such, right? So the pack is, if you were to be a little bit critical against it, it would not be counted as that many meshes. But the pack itself is of high quality and they go together well. It's just unfortunate that it's a very small pack, right? And lastly, we have the Stats and Achievement Integration Pack. So this is a code plugin, which means that I will not be able to show this off for you because it would require quite a lot of setup to do so. But this pack is essentially a Steam API stats and achievements integration that allow you to easily implement Steam stats and achievements using blueprints in your game. So you have features like downloading user stats and achievements, data from the Steam servers, uploading user stats and achievements data from, well, probably to the Steam servers, displaying achievements, unlocks and progress, and much more. So you have the functionality to do these things when integrating and working towards Steam for your game, if that is of interest to you. So that's a pretty nice thing, I would say. Although I don't have any first-hand experience with it because I haven't been able to set this up because it would require a lot. This seems like it's something that many would find useful to use in their projects. Anyway, that's going to be all for now. Keep on learning. Take care. A big thank you to all of you who like, comment, subscribe and share my videos, or through other means support this channel. You are what makes this channel grow and become a resource for other people to learn from.